Good evening, everybody. This is Chips and Davie, and this is F1XL Division 1 at Silverstone. Very warm welcome to round 9 of the championship. Here in a very cloudy looking Silverstone. So, this weekend, if spectators weren't aware, is the sprint weekend. So, what happens here is that it's a one-shot qualifying followed by maybe a 20% sprint race, if that, and then we do another one-shot qualifying, then into the feature race, which is 50% or 27 laps or so around here. So, as we're just getting ready, it's quite difficult to follow. Obviously, with the sprint qualifying, you're going to have to follow one driver. So, what we are going to do is we're going to try and get on board with the current Division 1 championship leader, which is Quickdead. So we're going to get on board with him, and then whoever wins the sprint will get on board with them in the one-shot quali for the feature race. And we're just waiting to get going here, guys. A lot of guys maybe just getting the last little minute setups and whatever else prepped. I know it is a preset only lobby, but just adjusting maybe little bits and bobs, or taking a wee breather before they get going. But we're going to pull up the Twitch here, make sure everything's hunky-dory on the stream. Yep, I can hear myself, that's fantastic. Don't want to hear that. But, yep, looks like we're about to get going for the sprint qualifying. Personally not a fan of the sprint qualifying, or the sprint weekends I should say, but it does look like they are here to stay in real life and in XL, so just need to get used to them. As the countdown comes here, and we're going to get going right away here. We'll try and get on board with Quickdead. Dearie me, what's going on here? Right, okay, as we're on board with Quickdead, and let's just watch his lap, as he's currently sitting second, and obviously all these guys are on track at the same time, all just basically doing a hot lap. The cars are not ghosted. I think that's maybe down to personal preference. I think you can have the ghosts on if you want, but it is awfully distracting. Just see Quickdead. He's currently sitting second position. Still, he's dropped a little bit there, and it is very tight so far. We did say last week that this track maybe would have thrown something up a little bit different to Austria. The times might have been a bit more open, as Austria's a much shorter track and there's not much going on there. And there's 3 DRS zones around there. I think there is only 2 here. As Quickdead comes, Maggots, Beckett's. I think the DRS straight there. He is, wing open. Currently sitting third. Harrison's currently in the lead. He comes up to finish sector 2. Battery blinking away, using every bit of battery. He can use every bit of power coming out that corner. MC Jamie B's retired, he must have made a mistake. But it is looking like Quickdead is dropping down to 5th. Gamerman Steph up to 3rd and across the line. And that is a very close qualifying. I knew it was going to be close over these guys, so competitive, but wow, they did cross the line maybe about half a second apart in the top 5. Yep, there we go. So Harrison does take pole, followed by Krabs, Gamerman Steph, Twang and Garlic, Quickdead, Dixie, JJ, F1XL Kimmy, just seen him, nice to see him back. Stone Shuffle, Jack Whittle, Deathlink and MC Jamie B failed to set a time. So it is good to see F1XL Kimmy back. I don't think I've seen him this season, to be honest. Yes, he's not raced at all this season. This is his first race back. So welcome back, Kimmy. It's great to see you back racing again, mate. And hopefully you can hang around for the rest of the season. So it's looking a little bit brighter in the race. It has brightened up, thankfully. The sprint race, not too much in terms of strategy required for sprint. There's no pit stops required, usually. And maybe starting on the medium tyre I believe the sprint race is something like 9 laps or so around here. So obviously unsure on weather conditions for the one-shot qualifying for the feature race as well as the feature race. We don't know any weather at this moment in time, but hopefully someone can enlighten us, maybe in chat or in Discord. But it is looking alright for the sprint race, as far as we can see, looking out the commentary box here. But, you know, just typical Great British weather. You never know what it's going to throw up, even in the summer. So as we're waiting to get going here, I'll spit out my usual fun facts about Silverstone. It did start as a World War II airfield. It wasn't built for racing at all. It was originally a Royal Air Force bombers. Let me start that again. A Royal Air Force bomber station during World War II. Track layout still follows the old runway pattern. I think the runway's still kind of sitting in the infield somewhere. It was the very first track to host an F1 race back in 1950, and it was won by Giuseppe Farina. Wow, look at that. I thought that the first race would have been maybe the Monaco or Monza. I'm sure that must have been about the same time then. It is one of the fastest tracks in the calendar. It's known for its high-speed corners, Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, where drivers maintain insane speeds as precision is everything. Very easy to get penalties in those corners. The British Grand Prix has been held at Silverstone the most often, making it the spiritual home of F1 in the UK. It has been held at Brands Hatch as well, and I think there's maybe a couple of tracks back very early on that hosted it. I think maybe Croft hosted, and oh, what was that other one? It was a small track. They raced in the 70s, I think. Oh, I can't. I'll need to think. I'll need to Google that one. That'll come back to me. Many drivers call it their favourite track because of the flow and the speed. But one mistake at high speed can be costly, as we all are aware. And Silverstone's gone through several layout changes over the years to improve its safety in racing, especially after high speed concerns of the circuit. So I do remember it being, this used to be, well, this section didn't really exist. It was the bridge section, and then coming up to roughly where they are now, and then it was a straight, and then the start finish line was on the old straight just after, just before Cops, I believe. And I think before that as well there was a chicane in there back in the 90s as well, the early 90s, late 80s. If you remember that, Nigel Mansell's famous win there. Had the crowd on the track, swarming the car. I believe that was Silverstone, if not then I'm very wrong. But yep, this track usually attracts massive crowds, over 300,000 people over a weekend, making it one of the best attended in the world for an F1 race, which is incredible. But yeah, so here we go. I'm just going to get myself sorted out here. We didn't manage. We see Harrison starting on the mediums, a few guys starting on the hard tyre, which is quite interesting. The mediums do dig here quite badly. The hards could struggle for pace, so the mediums could get away and then have to maintain the tyre temps and stuff like that. So we're going to have to get a map up here. Leader, tyres, stops, no, don't need that. So gap to leader, fastest lap, right, okay, we are good to go. As are these guys as they just approach their starting positions now. It's very nice and tidy parking there from the Williams driver. Harrison on pole, the fastest in the sprint qualifying. And Crab's sporting that pink Racing Bulls livery as we get underway here. We wait for the 5 lights. Crab's pointing towards Harrison already. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5. And it's off we go. Harrison gets a really good start there. Krabs doesn't really get going, but it looks like Gamerman Steph's maybe going to have some bother here. But on the inside, look at Dixie on the inside there. Twang and Garlic struggling to get off the line. MC Jamie B up. There's a bit of contact there, and there's a big crash at the back there. And we're not sure what happened there. There's someone miles off the track. That was Stone Shuffle off. So Stone Shuffle, it looks like Stone Shuffle definitely maybe getting caught up in a bit of action there, but it is Harrison who maintains the lead. As we see a lot of fighting here going on in the mid-pack already. The sprint race off to an absolute flyer. And it is Twang and Garlic, Dixie, Kimmy, JJ all fighting here. And the position change, side by side. And Dixie manages to hold on for the time being. As all this squabbling has allowed the likes of Quick Dead to get ahead. And Gamerman Steph with a really good start as well. Position changes, Quick Dead already up one position. Twang and Garlic down one. MC Jamie B's had a great start there. I think that's down to the collision at the start, as well as JJ dropping a position in the Haas. So round we go to the end of lap 1. And it's Harrison who is off to an absolute flyer. I don't know if you heard my comments on, as we see someone is maybe retiring already, potentially. No, that looks maybe Jack Whittle there, but not sure. Stone Shuffle has retired up from the session already. So not a great start to the weekend for Stone Shuffle there, the Ferrari driver. As we get back to Harrison, as I was saying before, the comments I made on F1XL Extra, which is on the F1XL channel every Wednesday night from 7 o'clock. I said that Harrison loves this track, and I did tip him massively to get the win on the sprint and in the feature race, and he's doing a good job so far. As we still have a yellow flag for Stone Shuffle in the back there. And again, not a great start for the Ferrari driver. Struggled with, looks like contact early on with maybe Deathlink and perhaps Jack Whittle as well. And it's a shame for him. He'll be looking to rectify that in the feature race. As Harrison is pulling a gap here, as DRS is now enabled. And Krabs does have DRS, as does Gamerman Steph and Quick Dead. The top 4 already made a gap to Twang and Garlic, sitting in 5th position at the moment. We're going to check intervals here, and Dixie and Twang and Garlic again, same as last week in Austria. And joint at the hip it seems, as Krabs does set the fastest lap at 1:29 flat on the hard tyre. We see all the dirt and everything on the corner there. I don't know if that'll maybe cause these guys problems. We'll need to maybe go a few laps to whisk that away, but doesn't look like it's causing anybody too many problems at the moment. As Krabs has a little look on the inside here on Harrison, but Harrison holds firm. And looks like Gamerman Steph looking to get in on the action on Krabs as well here, and Quick Dead in the background also looking to get in the action as he just trails Gamerman Steph slightly. As he does, that's Gamerman Steph, does run a little bit wide there. Doesn't look like he's lost a whole load of time. But Krabs still on the chase, but Harrison seems to have the better of him in the non-DRS section. He is pulling away, but as soon as it comes to the DRS section, it's race neutralised basically. It's back to as you were the same times. As Quick Dead really getting up close to Gamerman Steph there, and you can see the difference in the gap already. As Twang and Garlic, what's the Dixie and the Alpine of Kimmy looking to have a little bit of a battle here, and Kimmy tries to get the switch back, tries to get on the inside. Dixie a little loss of traction there, and that's going to leave him a bit vulnerable in the start-finish straight. Also JJ looking as well to get involved. Dirt's still there. It does look like it's off the racing line, so I don't think it'll be causing too much problems. As we are just at the start of lap 4. And Krabs looking like he was really alongside Harrison in the inside there, but Harrison's held well. And Gamerman Steph and Quick Dead really bunching up now. Quick Dead maybe just back ever so slightly. Maybe worth spectating just to see what happens here, but Harrison holding solid so far. And those medium tyres really coming into action, but for how long will they last? That's a great camera angle, just cars in the background there. And you see that gap just getting further and further and further away from Twangy Garlic there. The front four just seem to be in a world of their own at the moment. And we're going to see Dixie maybe have a look. No, we don't. We've just seen a little clip it's there. So there seems to be two battles going on here. As we see Jack Whittle and MC Jamie B going at it. It is the battle of the Red Bulls here. And MC Jamie B keen to get past. He is hugging the inside there. And there's contact. Oh man. Jack Whittle there holding the inside, but Jamie B thought he'd put it on the inside anyway, and there is contact between the two Red Bull teams. And it is for the last point, so they are... Well, actually it is the sprint, so it is only the top 8 that are scoring points in this race. There's Harrison and Krabs there. Krabs does get in the inside, and that's an awful camera angle, and we see that's a better one. Side by side, Harrison looking to take the lead back. They are side by side coming out of that corner. And Gamerman Steph's got the perfect view of that, but Harrison's maybe thinking better of it. He's just going to take his time here and maybe get back to... Oh, as he runs really wide there, he's going to maybe try and get back at the DRS. On those medium tyres, perhaps starting to fade a little bit on the Williams. As I thought they would have. The medium tyre seems to get to a certain point and then just stay there for a few laps, but whereas the hards, they just seem to not lose time at all. But this could be the breather that Harrison wants. With 4 laps to go, he could maybe maintain this position and have another shot, but he's going to have to be wary of Gamerman Steph in the background there as Harrison takes a very aggressive line coming into that chicane there and onto the start finish straight to start lap 6 of 9. We're going to hop down midfield here quickly, as there seems to be... Yeah, this is not much of a battle going on here. There's Dixie and Twangy Garlic again having a battle, as they did in the last week, and the week before, and the week before that. MC Jamie B looks like he's retiring from the session. And look how close this gap is at the top. There's Harrison looking to open up that DRS, maybe try and get in the inside of Krabs here, but not quite yet, he's not close enough. Gamerman Steph also sniffing around, Quick Dead happy to watch this unfold. And it is Krabs in that lovely, lush, pink Racing Bull livery. They seem to change it every week. I think they're doing it just to confuse me. But it looks like Quick Dead running a little bit wide there in the background. The dirty air from these cars will be interfering with his car massively. But DRS for Harrison. Is he close enough to have a look? He's maybe peeking a little bit on the inside there, but Krabs shuts the door. And these top 4. If this is what it's going to be like in the race, I'm looking forward to this, because it does look like it's going to be an absolute barnstormer of a race. As Krabs is pulling a little bit of a gap out onto Harrison here, and get rid of that position change. More to see. There we go. So it is still Krabs in the lead, 5 tenths ahead of Harrison, who's 4 tenths ahead of Gamerman Steph, who's 5 tenths ahead of Quick Dead. They're separated by roughly 2 seconds, the top 4. And it does look like Harrison's maybe peeling away a little bit, and Krabs making the most of those hard tyres. Those mediums maybe will start to be degrading a little bit, as Krabs does get a little bit sideways. That might cost him a little bit of time. That has Harrison slowly bringing him in. Krabs does go a little bit defensive there, but he does take the racing line going into the corner. And it does look like Gamerman Steph also struggling with that corner with the dirty air as well, but it looks like Harrison doesn't quite have the legs at the moment. He does get a good run out of that corner. And DRS 5/10ths back, I don't think it's enough. He has to be much closer than this. If you look at Quick Dead, really close to Gamer Man Steph there, and let's get on board with him, and what a view this is. Is that front left of the hard tyre looking a little bit... it's looking a little bit orange peely, it's not looking too clever. As we are only on lap 8. Are we on lap 8? Yes we are. Just started lap 8. In that dirty air you can see the car just not willing to go into the corner as much. And it's just about patience for these guys. It's maybe patience a little bit for Harrison. But I think these guys, he's the only medium runner at the front. Yes, he is. He's the only medium runner at the front, so that's interesting. And it is Krabs leading on the hards, as Harrison's struggling to keep up, but he is making good ground there in that corner. It looks like Krabs maybe struggling a wee bit for grip as well. I'm going to get on board with Gamer Man Steph. How's his tyres looking? His tyres not looking too great either. Harrison's not looking clever. Krabs' tyres are looking fine. That is unbelievable. They look, compared to these ones look a little bit grainy on the left there, you see that? You look at, his aren't actually grainy, it's maybe just the speed he was going at, but now 6/10ths back in the DRS zone. And we see Kimmy and Dixie still having a battle with Twangy Garlic. Is Dixie maybe looking to have a little nibble here? Is he close enough? No. Nowhere near enough. So from that, coming out that corner there before the DRS line, I believe you have to be something maybe 3/10ths behind to even consider going for a move. And he is starting to slide a little bit, Dixie there, and looks like the hard tyre was probably the better option in the sprint. Let's see, it's JJ and Deathlink there. JJ and Deathlink may have had an issue there. I don't remember them being that far back. Apologies if I've missed that. But it is now the final lap. And it is Krabs who's leading. Harrison maybe looking to get the move done on the final DRS straight, but he's going to have to hurry up. He's going to have to get closer than this. Hop on board with Krabs and his pink Red Bull, and it is 7/10ths back. Harrison's going to need a good sector here, and it's not enough, I don't think. He's going to have to burn a lot of battery here, Harrison, if he's any chance to win this. And I think he's already conceded that he's not going to be winning the sprint, unfortunately. His Deathlink, we see, just noticed that he's picked up a penalty there. And it is Krabs who comes round the final couple of bends, onto the start finish straight. The checkered flag is out, and Krabs wins the sprint race here in Silverstone. It's his 6th win, his 6th time on the top step this season, and it's a terrific season so far for the Red Bull driver. Racing Bulls driver, I should say, stop mixing me up. And it's Harrison 2nd, Gamer Man Steph 3rd, Quick Dead in 4th, Twangy Garlic 5th, Dixie in 6th, F1XL Kimmy in 7th, Deathlink 8th, JJ 9th, Jack Whittle 10th. With obviously MC Jamie B and Stone Shuffle failing to finish the sprint. So that gives us an interesting preview into the actual feature race. Obviously with strategies and things we'll maybe mix things up a little bit, but that's very close racing from the top 4, and if they can get their qualifying right again, then it could be the top 4 running away with it again. As we see Krabs' elbow once again, as last week, winning the sprint. And it's Harrison in 2nd, followed by Gamerman Steph in 3rd, Quick Dead 4th, Twangy Garlic 5th, Dixie 6th, F1XL Kimmy in 7th, Deathlink 8th, JJ 9th, Jack Whittle 10th, MC Jamie B and Stone Shuffle failed to finish. And here we go, guys. This is just, business has just picked up here at Silverstone as the umbrella is out, the wheelies are on, and this looks brutal. This looks very, very interesting for the sprint race, the feature qualifying now, the one-shot qualifying. And this could certainly shake up the field for the race. As we do see Brian Corr and Liam Hammond spectating here. Thanks guys, thanks for tuning in. As it is looking like a very miserable afternoon in Silverstone. So with Krabs winning that sprint, it is only a point extra, but he finished 3 positions ahead of Quick Dead, so that currently puts Krabs back at the top of the table. And Harrison finishing second, also maybe on level points with Quick Dead now. And of course we are missing Sport Mad this weekend, unfortunately. It would have been nice to see him racing. And I'm not sure why he's missing this week's race, but we hopefully nothing too serious, and we hope to see you back next week for the race. As we are about to get underway here for the sprint qualifying, we're going to hop on board with the winner. And it is wet conditions here, very wet conditions. There's a couple of guys on the inters, a couple of guys on the wets. So it's going to mix up the grid a little bit here, as we do see a lot of guys that aren't normally up there. Deathlink up to second, Deathlink currently leading. JJ up at 4th, Gamerman Steph 5th, Quick Dead sitting at 8th position at the moment. It does look like the wet tyre is the best tyre for this session. And Harrison has opted for the intermediates. As we see Krabs so slow compared to how the dry conditions, and Krabs looking like he's leading the way here. I'm trying to see if his lap data, see who's quicker than. But this corner is so dicey in these wet conditions as he runs really wide. And look at JJ up at second position, we love to see that. And that car is very slidey, isn't it? Look at how he's just throwing it into every corner, and Krabs could be the real deal here with being fastest in the dry and in the wet. Obviously his 6th win of the season earlier. And we'll see what the final standings will be as we come up to the end of the lap. As Harrison's currently sitting 5th. The wet tyre looking to be the best for this sprint. Oh, and Krabs does get a massive slide there. Is that going to affect him? It's not looking like it, and he is struggling for traction coming at that corner as he does cross the line, and it's a 1:43, 6/10 faster than 2nd place. That is a phenomenal, that is unbelievable. That is true pace from the Racing Bulls driver. That is an incredible time. So we'll run down the order here, guys, as it is Krabs starting pole, JJ second, a very impressive second position for JJ. Deathlink up 3rd position as well, Twangy Garlic in 4th, Harrison starting 5th, Gamerman Steph in 6th, Quick Dead 7th, MC Jamie B 8th, Kimmy 9th, Stone Shuffle 10th, Jack Whitwell 11th, and Dixie starting at the back. So it did look like the wet tyre was the one to be on there. And a very impressive drive, a very impressive qualifying, I should say, from JJ, who's maybe struggled in recent weeks to really get going, and this is a huge boost for him as he's looking to get a really good solid points finish here, and he's in the best position to do it with starting second. And it is looking dry. That dried up quickly, didn't it? It dried up very quickly here in Silverstone, and we are going to take a short break while these guys sort their stuff out. And we are back, guys, as we still wait to get going here. And it does look like we are eventually getting going now. So it is a very interesting lineup at the grid here, with Krabs in the lead and JJ starting on the front row for the first time. And of course, Harrison back in 5th there, Twangy Garlic 4th position, Deathlink in 3rd. And we've got Gamerman Steph back in 6th, Quick Dead in 7th, so it has certainly mixed up the field this wet qualifying. As the drivers are just making their way around and getting the heat into the tyres. Let's have a little look at the strategy. Well, it's not the strategy, what am I looking for here? That's what I'm looking for. The tyres. So it looks like we have 4 guys starting on the hard tyre. It is JJ starting on the hards. He's looking to go long. And it is a good strategy if there's no early safety car, if he can stay within DRS range of Krabs in front. And Twangy Garlic also on the hards, as well as Stone Shuffle and Jack Whittle. And I think the sprint proved that the medium tyre isn't the tyre it once was. It didn't go the distance, and a lot of guys seem to struggle on it. And these guys maybe are looking to go long and see what happens. So let's just see what else we can deal with here. What else do we have? Straight pins, tyres, stops, nothing like that yet. Don't need that. Gap to leader. Perfect. As we are about to get going. That does look like a bit of a... I might be wrong. There's JJ looking way over to the right hand side of his box there. As we are set to get going, JJ pointing straight towards Krabs here as it's 1 lights, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's go here at Silverstone. Krabs gets a good start, but JJ already down a position as the Mercedes of Deathlink gets an even better start, and Harrison already up to 4th position, Quick Dead already up as well, and it's Harrison already up to 3rd position. JJ dropping to 4th, he's not had the good start, and a couple of people running wide there. That's Kimmy in the background running a little bit wide. And a couple of position changes in the midfield there. There's MC Jamie B up a position as well. And everybody, it looks like they've got round fairly unscathed. And Quick Dead making quick work as he's already passed JJ, who's dropped 3 positions from the start. And Deathlink up to 2nd position from the start. And it looks like Gamerman Steph really keen to get past JJ here quickly, as he's really tucked in the back end of that car. And the possible race strategies are talking absolute rubbish. And Dixie and Jamie B already side by side. And Jamie B does get past Dixie there. There's some good driving there from MC Jamie B, the Red Bull driver, and it looks like everyone's off to a nice issue-free start, as we see Gamerman Steph getting past JJ there and looking to get involved in the front group as soon as possible. And JJ looking to come back at him here, but Steph thinks better of it, runs a little bit wide, gives him the space, but JJ just couldn't take the opportunity there. I'm going to hop back at the front here as Krabs does lead the way. Deathlink, a great start there. He's up 1 position, Harrison up 2, Quick Dead up 3 positions, Steph up 4, JJ has dropped 4 positions from the start. MC Jamie B up 1 position, Dixie up 4, Kimmy, Twangy Garlic, Jack Whittle and Stone Shuffle losing out on the start of that race there, and Twangy Garlic down 6, maybe had issues of maybe collision at the start, but down 6 positions from 4th. And already It looks like the front group are slowly pulling away. There's the top 5 now. Even the top 6, I should say. Maybe looking like there's a gap appearing behind the McLaren of Gamerman Steph. Sorry, I'm just looking at this detail here. I'm just quite intriguing to see Deathlink actually catching crabs here. I was just watching that time coming down. Obviously DRS is enabled, and Deathlink really impressive so far this race. Is the wet qualifying really in his favour. Harrison does set the fastest lap, but Gamerman Steph snatches it back though. And oh, Beastie, hi, let's go. How you doing, Beastie? Nice to see you in. As well, you're about to tune into quite an interesting race here, and Harrison looks like he's given that Mercedes a bit of a push round that corner. Not literally, but desperate to get past him and hunt down the racing bulls in front. Looks like JJ's struggling there to keep that 1 second DRS time to Gamerman Steph. He's not quite held it, he's 1.0 seconds behind, just outside marginally. But Deathlink keeping within the mix here, which is really good to see. It's these last couple of results have been good, but this is probably his best chance at really solid points this weekend, as he is his highest finish so far this season is 8th, as Harrison looking on the inside here, and Deathlink not really want to fight that too much, and Harrison gets through into 2nd position. And there will be perhaps team orders at play here between Deathlink and QuickDead, as QuickDead in theory the fastest driver, and through he goes. Deathlink lets QuickDead go, as he runs a little bit wide into the bargain as well. And QuickDead, as you were, the only guy that's missing from the top 4 from the sprint race is Gamerman Steph, who's really on the back end of Deathlink now. But Harrison already back up, only 5/10 behind Krabs. See Jamie B looks like he's maybe looking to have a look here on JJ. And 4/10 back, and Gamerman Steph 3/10 back from Deathlink, maybe looking to really get rid of this Mercedes as soon as possible. And Harrison within 4/10 of the racing bull in front. We hop on board with Harrison here. Not quite enough, looks like Krabs burning a lot of battery there, he is blinking away quite a lot. Harrison really taking an aggressive line through this section here, and really desperate to get caught up. Here's QuickDead really trying to get involved as well, as we see MCJB picks up a 3-second penalty for track limits. And Gamerman Steph, as it looks like he's got the gap to JJ now. But those mediums already looking a little bit worse for wear, and we're only on lap 5. There's obviously Deathlink in front, also the DRS, but looks like Steph's maybe haven't thought about having a look there, but not quite as Deathlink. Maybe looking a wee bit wide there coming in that corner. He is really holding steady. You can tell that Steph's desperate to get past here. He's making a wee bit of a mistake there, losing a little bit of traction, really getting frustrated that he can't get this move done on the Mercedes driver. But look at Harrison, look at the gap. It's 2/10. This is close enough for a move down the straight. But you do lose a little bit of time to the car in front, because just trying to follow the cars around here is just an absolute nightmare. But 2/10 is enough. Krabs goes defensive, Harrison on the outside, switches to the inside, no, not yet. But he does have some speed there. Look at Gamer Man Steph in the background there, on the outside of Deathlink. Deathlink holds the position for the time being. And Gamer Man Steph really desperate to get past this. Oh, I'm going the wrong way there. Gamer Man Steph really desperate to get past this Mercedes driver of Deathlink, who's really costing him time, and it's such a difficult track to overtake. But it could be that Deathlink now out of DRS range. As we have a look, he's out of DRS range. This could be the moment that Steph makes the move. So looks to the inside, onto the left side. No arguments from Deathlink. Steph eventually gets past, but look at the front pack here. Look at the view that Gamer Man Steph's got. Harrison Quick Dead all over the back of that racing bull. It looks like Krabs maybe struggling to hold on a little bit more than he did in the sprint. I'm going to hop back quickly while these guys come in that sector, and it's Jack Whitwell looking to get past Wang Gallic for the last points position there. It seems to be quite tight, and Dixie and MC Jamie B having a right old scrap here as well. And JJ's managed to cement his spot into 6th position for the time being. And Harrison a little bit closer there, but doesn't look like he's going to go for the move. As a lot of these guys maybe just getting into the rhythm. Yeah, slow burner this race by the looks, as someone is coming into the pits there. That looked like a Mercedes, and it is. It's Deathlink. So I wonder, what's the tyre situation? Is he coming onto the hards? Let's have a little look. Oh, we can't see, we cannot see. It does look like, yes, it's the hard tyre. So, is he going to the end? We don't know. This volume of laps to go, they could be looking at a 2-stop. But I'm not entirely convinced that this race is a 2-stop. We're going to go back to Kimmy here, who's really in the mix of a massive DRS train here, and is currently led by MC Jamie B, who's struggling to make ground on JJ for the time being, as JJ is pulling away ever so slightly. And this could be the race for 5th position, as we do see Dixie running a little bit wide there. Again, it is, I cannot stress how difficult it is to follow these cars around this section of the track. The volume understeer is just incredible. BST, that's a 2-stop. Yep, I think that's a 2-stop as well, but I don't know if this race is a 2-stop. Personally, I think the mediums, you have to really take care of the mediums. From when I raced this last season, we see Quick Dead now coming into the pits, as is Harrison. This is looking like a 2-stop, yes. Interesting. So, as I was saying, when I raced this last season, the medium tyre, if you looked after it well enough, you could take them to maybe lap 11 and 12, and the hards would do the rest. But your tyres, don't get me wrong, your tyres are terrible for both stints, near the end of the stint. So a medium to hards is the best strat in my opinion. Yes, I would agree with that, but it just depends how good you are with tyre management as well. Krabs, obviously, what tyre he is on the mediums, I believe. Let me just figure this out. Yes, he is. So he's on a medium tyre. You see Kimmy and Dixie having a scrap again, these two. And it is good to see Kimmy back racing after maybe 9 weeks or so not seen him in Division 1. And it'll be interesting to see now how Harrison and Quick Dead get on with the hard tyre, going with the 2-stop compared to the 1. So let's just get on board with Krabs here and have a look at these tyres, the state of these tyres. It's hard to tell at the moment, but they're looking a little bit grained there. We'll be able to tell a bit better once the car slows down. Yeah, but that front left is looking pretty terrible. But surely, as we see Gamer Man Steph in the background there just coming in as well, so that front left of Krabs is looking pretty awful. But surely if you were Krabs, you'd maybe cut off the 2-stop and do it yourself, and maybe save yourself the overcut if possible. But maybe with the undercut, with how close these guys were, the undercut for Harrison was probably a good bet. So Krabs maybe just has to do his own thing. We're going to hop on board with Stone Shuffle here, who's having a bit of a ding dong with Jack Little and Twangy Garlic. His Deathlink does set the fastest lap on those hard tyres. So the gap to leader is currently 22.4 seconds for Harrison and 24.4 for Quick Dead. So we're going to actually keep a little. We're going to keep on this this detail here at the moment, and we're going to see if that changes from 22.3 within the next lap or two. He'll be missing again for a few weeks again due to work. Oh, that's a shame to hear, but it's good to see him racing still. Hopefully you can get back to racing as well these days. It's been a wee while to race since I raced you, my friend. So, I don't think I'll be back this season personally. I'll be doing the commentary until the update's out. But maybe like with maybe 1 or 2 races to go at the end of the season, I'll maybe get back out on track and get back into the swing of things again. But I have been doing like the public lobbies for my sins for the last couple of weeks. Just kind of keeping my foot in and stuff. And still enjoying the game, but just with my luck with the Division 2 this season at the start, I just knew that I wasn't going to get anywhere, and rather than sit and get upset every weekend and get fuming that I can't get going, then there's no point continuing like that. So I would much rather just do something else that I enjoyed. So as Harrison sets the fastest lap here, we're going to get back into the race action here, and JJ comes in for the mediums. You see Twangy Garlic, maybe we're going to have a look here on Dixie on the inside. He thinks about it? No. And I noticed we are missing Newton Killer and Sketchy Crib this week as well, which is a real shame because they had a really great battle with these guys last week in Austria. So I'd love to have seen where they would have been in this particular battle. But Crab's still out. It's lap 9, as is Dixie. We're going to hop on board real quick with Dixie here. We're going to hop on board with Krabs just to see the nick of these tyres yet. And they're not looking great. I'm in a similar boat, currently not racing due to work. Yeah, I get that. I think every third week, I'm on shifts every third week, excuse me. And I'm up at like 4:30 on a Monday morning, so racing like to like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night it's just tricky waking up Monday morning. You see Krabs still not pitting. Those tyres are looking absolutely awful, and I'm stunned he's managed to stay at this length of time. As Dixie's thought better of it and decided to pit, and that tyre is looking awful. You've got to see him as he takes him off here. Oh, great camera angle, guys, thanks. I wanted to see the tyres, but maybe not. Anyway, as we see, Harrison does hop up to 4th position, obviously, with overtaking Dixie in the pits, and the gap now is 18.1. Now that's came down 4 seconds in the last 2-3 laps, which is maybe showing that Krabs is really struggling on these tyres. Now he is obviously going to go for the 1-stop. I'm sure lap 13 is the ultimate lap for the 1-stop, yeah. But I don't even know if these tyres are going to go to lap 13. Look at the state of them. The rear tyre's not looking as bad, but that front left is abysmal. And it's starting to get a little bit shiny. Starting to get a little bit shiny. And Twangy Garlic still 6 seconds back. He looks like he's maybe bringing in Krabs a little bit now as well, and that's just shows you how strong the hard tyre is around here. They're 10 lap old hards, and he's bringing in Krabs, who is absolutely rapid. And Stone Shuffle still doing his own thing as well, and Krabs does eventually pit. And look at the state of those tyres. So lap 11, or lap 12 I should say. So it is going to be a 1-stop, so it looks like he's going to maybe ring this out. And it's going to be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Harrison. As Krabs is just released from the pit box there. And Krabs still in the pits. It's an agonisingly slow pit lane here at a pit speed limit of 37 miles an hour just because of how narrow it is. You'll notice sometimes that some of these tracks will have a 50 mile an hour limit and some of them will have a 37. It's just down to how narrow the pit lane is. As Krabs does just get out in front of Kimmy, but Kimmy's going to give him a bit of a headache here as he's got DRS, Krabs doesn't. And is Kimmy going to make the move here? He's not close enough. Krabs burning all the battery he can there. Twang of Garlic and Stone Shuffle still out on there on the... They started on the hard, so this is working out nicely for them. As we're going to see Deathlink and Jamie B. Looks like they're the closest on track at the moment. Currently 6th and 7th, these two. And everyone else a little bit spread out as Kimmy is on a different strategy to Krabs here. Using the 3-lap older hard tyre. But is he going to cause issues here for Krabs? But he is 6/10 back on this DRS straight. I don't think it's going to be enough. As MC Jamie B and Deathlink are having a right scrap here, and Deathlink, MC Jamie B going defensive, Deathlink on the outside will have the better drive coming into the start finish line. But struggling to get the power down the Mercedes. These two at each other's necks for a lot of the race, but we're going to hop back on board with Stone Shuffle, who's looking to take the lead here in the British Grand Prix. And he is giving Twang of Garlic a bit of hassle now as we hop on board with the Ferrari driver, Stone Shuffle. He's not had the greatest of luck this season so far. He's had a couple of incidents the last few weeks and he's been really unfortunate, but I know he's still to maybe pit, but this is really great to see him up here fighting for the lead for the time being, and we're going to give him all the credit he deserves, and especially for a Ferrari driver. No bias intended. He does get the DRS open on Twang of Garlic, and that's Harrison in the background already catching up to these two, and Stone Shuffle not quite close enough to get the move done on Twang of Garlic. We'll hop back on board with MC Jamie B and Deathlink here having a right old scrap, and this is going to cost Krabs a lot of time if he's going to make the one stop work. Krabs desperate to get past these two, but MC Jamie B's not going to make that easy for him, not at all, not one bit, as they are going to get side by side in this contact. Krabs pushes MC Jamie B out the way, and MC Jamie B really struggling for the traction coming out that corner there as well. That was a bit naughty from Krabs there. That could be a potential penalty there for the Racing Bulls driver, as he just forced his way through his sister teammate, and now try to get past Deathlink, who's not going to be making it easy for him either, as Krabs really getting frustrated very quickly coming up to the DRS straight, and this could be the move that Krabs needs to get past. And Deathlink not fighting too much, he knows his race is elsewhere as Krabs does get past. And it's as you were, but Jamie B losing out a couple of positions there after being pushed off by Krabs. He'll be very disappointed. Actually, he was having a really good battle there with Deathlink, but he's not out of the wood. He's not out yet. He is a couple of tenths back from Kimmy there now, and if you get yourself back in the mix in the next lap or two with a good DRS while these two guys battle at the top. So we'll need to see how this pans out for Jamie B. That's a really frustrating for him. He did defend very well coming into the chicane, but he did hold his line. Krabs, in my opinion, maybe could have backed out of that one, but as we see, Twang of Garlic does take the pits, and Kimmy, Deathlink going at it there. And Kimmy doing a good job here so far. We're going to hop on board, and it's Stone Shuffle in the lead of the Silverstone Grand Prix. The Ferrari driver, the Scotsman himself, leads, and listen to that crowd. Oh, it's a beautiful sight to see the Ferrari at the front there, and let's just end the race now, guys. But don't look behind you, whatever you do, Stone Shuffle, do not look behind you. Do not look behind you. Do not look behind you. So we're going to see Game of Man Steph here and Quick Dead now. Really, oh, look at that from Quick Dead. There's Game of Man Steph looking to maybe get a job done here in the old start-finish straight. And these two really close together. And it's interesting to see the difference with the pit strategy here. I'm surprised that Krabs went for the one stop. I thought, obviously, with everyone else doing a two stop, I thought he would have come in a lap later than, say, Harrison or Quick Dead, and maybe stick with that as Deathlink picks up a penalty for the track limits around Beckett's, I believe. Game of Man Steph really close to Quick Dead there, and Stone Shuffle does come in, and I don't know what happened there. He seemed to stop dead on the pit limiter line. But it is Harrison in the lead from Quick Dead and Game of Man Steph, who are a couple of seconds behind, 5 seconds back from Harrison. And Game of Man Steph been really frustrated from the race earlier on, from trying to get past Deathlink, making the two-stop strategy and getting that Mercedes out of the way and utilising as much time as he can, and it looks like he's going to get moved on Quick Dead here, and that was really close to the back end of that Mercedes, but he got away with it, and it's second position for Game of Man Steph. So we'll hop on board with JJ here, who's looking to get past Deathlink here. He is on the 6 lap medium tyres, and Deathlink on 9 lap old hards. Looking to put those mediums to good use, but they will be overheating roughly around about now, as those skies, I don't know if it's just me, but those skies are maybe looking a little bit cloudy. It's a bit cloudier than what it was earlier, so I don't know if we're guaranteed rain in this race. No one's mentioned anything. Usually ask for a weather update in the chat, or if anyone can send it to me in Discord, but no one's done it, so we're going to just have to guess here, guys. As JJ on the outside of Deathlink, still on the outside, Deathlink holds the inside. JJ running really wide, and he gets a 3-second penalty for that. And the 3-second penalty that Deathlink had is now nullified, so this is game on now for the Mercedes driver. He just has to get his head down and try and get back at JJ here. And the race is like pottering away a little bit here. There's not much going on in the way of battles apart from Deathlink and JJ, so we see Stone Shuffle has came back out in 10th position. That's the last scoring points position, and he is 14 seconds ahead of MC Jamie B, who also has a penalty. You see Quick Dead now, obviously, well, there is a battle here with Quick Dead and Game of Man Steph. Krabs now caught up to those two. And we're going to bring up this detailed gap to leader. To see the gap to leader, it's 7.5 seconds for Krabs at the moment. And he is picking away at that time, but these two guys in front could be holding them up here, as did MC Jamie B and Deathlink earlier. And Krabs obviously not afraid to put his car where it needs to be in order to get past. As we are starting to see some guys coming in for the second stop, I believe. Yep, this is JJ's second stop. And those mediums again looking absolutely terrible. Look at that weather. I don't know if we're going to forecast for rain here. It could rain towards the end, but we're going to wait and see what happens as we see Quick Dead getting overtook by Krabs, who does eventually get past. And Krabs not losing a whole load of time here. As you see, MC Jamie B sets the fastest lap of the race so far. We are 1:29.2. Krabs looking to make light work of who he was racing against in the sprint race earlier on, and we do have a yellow flag. And that's Dixie. Oh, Dixie's round. Not sure if there was contact there, but yellow flags, sector 2. He'll be frustrated with that. He was having a good race with the Deathlink earlier there. And not too sure what happened, but that's frustrating for the VR driver. And we're going to see what's... We've got another yellow flag here. And we're not sure what's happened. We just have someone off, and that's a puncture for Deathlink. That is a huge puncture for Deathlink there. And how many laps have those tyres done? Deathlink on 11 lap old hard tyres is in deep trouble here as the car is up on 3 wheels. And then he comes and that car is bouncing all over the place, and that is unideal to say the least for... Oh, look at that, jeez, oh, he was nearly... The quick dead's just coming out the pits there. That's handy for Deathlink, he will not get held up too much. And I wonder if the puncture had anything to do with the contact that he had with Dixie. Possibly, I'm not sure. They were close together, and then next thing I see is Dixie in the grass there, so I'm not too sure what happened, but it could be related. This Crab's still not past Gamerman Steph yet. Gamerman Steph really keen to keep that racing wheel behind him. And we are starting to see a couple of guys coming in for the second stop. As Quick Dead we did see earlier. Quick Dead did come in for his second stop, as did JJ. MC JVB came in a few laps earlier there as well. Stone Shuffle and Twang Garlic on that one-stop strategy, it seems, on the medium tyre. So with these tyres puncturing on the Mercedes after 11, Harrison is on lap 12. We are trying to gauge how long these tyres can go for. But surely with 6 laps to go, it's the humming and hawing section of the race. What do you do? Is Gamerman Steph still holding back Crabs here? Gamerman Steph, maybe look, he's not going to go too defensive here, as he does let Crabs past. Crabs on the younger tyre, with 3 laps younger, looking to go to the end. Now only 6.2 seconds back from Harrison. And Stone Shuffle so far having an excellent race in 5th position here. He's looking to go to the end on those tyres. As Twangy, he did get eventually past Twangy Garlic on the undercut, or the overcut I should say. I think he actually pitted a lap earlier. No, it was the undercut. Twangy Garlic pitted a lap later. No, it wasn't. I'm talking rubbish. It is an overcut. So Stone Shuffle getting the overcut done, as his tyres are 1 lap younger and he is ahead. So ignore me, guys. I do apologise for that. So let's have a look at what else is happening here, as Gamerman Steph does come in for his second stop, as we thought he would have. He just gets that car slowed right down just as the line there. And that tyre again looking absolutely awful, and we're going to hop on board with Crabs here. And the 9 lap old mediums will be wringing the neck off of these tyres, but will they go to the end? That'll be what, 15 laps? He's got what, 5 laps to go, so 14 laps. So very possible for Crabs to get to the end, but he's going to really have to nurse them. But with Harrison, I'm not too confident in that tyre's ability to do another 5 laps. As you see Gamerman Steph coming out on the soft tyre. And he'll be looking to get going, as he just comes out behind Quick Dead and Dixie. Twangy Garlic keeping Stone Shuffle good company here, as we're coming out with 5 laps remaining. And Stone Shuffle's been he's had a fantastic race here. This has been a very impressive drive from the youngster, and he could be down for driver of the day, as is Kimmy, up 6 positions as well. But I believe, is he going to go to the end? We're not sure. He could go to the end. It's a big risk, as he has maybe still to pit. He is on the 1 stop. And is he pitting? No, he's not. Is he going to try and rinse this out to the end? Be very interesting to see what happens here as Gamerman Stefan Dixie exchange positions on the back straight. That'll be team orders there from Gamerman Steph, no doubt, who's on the softer tyre and looking to hunt down Quick Dead and finish as high as he possibly can here, but he's got a little bit of work to do as Quick Dead does set the fastest lap on the hard tyre with a 29 flat. And Crab's now 3.5 seconds back, roughly, or 4 seconds back from Harrison, who's impressively, the hard tyre is still on its rim somehow. With the 14 lap old hard tyre. And we do wonder if he does manage this, that is an incredible effort. And we do know he likes this track, so maybe he knows something we don't. As we do see Krabs in the background there, 3.2 seconds back, so he is losing a chunk of time in Sector 2, Harrison. As Harrison boxes with 3 laps to go. Oh, as he just gets the car slowed down in timing. This will be it, the ball is now in Krabs' court. How's that tyre looking? It's not looking too great either. So very interesting to see how this race is going to pan out. As Harrison could potentially be coming out and just behind the McLaren of Gamerman Steph potentially. I don't know, I think he's actually got a bit more time than that. We could just get out in front of the Mercedes and the McLaren having a battle here. That is Quick Dead and Gamerman Steph, who's just set the fastest lap time as Harrison does come out. Where does he come out? He's coming out just in front of the McLaren there, right in between the two of them, which maybe he would have preferred to be in front of the Mercedes, but the Mercedes only on the hard tyre, and he's been on them for 4 laps, so he could, in this brand new softs, he could get past fairly easily here, and he's wanting to do it quickly. But Stone Shuffle up to his second position here, which is a mightily impressive race for him so far. We've obviously seen Kimmy pitted for those softs to the end a couple of laps ago, or a lap ago I should say. And we're on lap 23, 26 here, and this is a real underdog story from Stone Shuffle at the moment. He is maybe got a couple of guys behind him on a much faster tyre, but with 3 laps to go, I think he could, a good chance he could hold on here. Let's hop on board with Stone Shuffle. Let's have a look at the tyres. And we are seeing rain. It's raining. Now then. Now, what does this mean for Krabs? What does this mean for Stone Shuffle? The rain is starting to hit. Is it going to hit hard enough for the end of the race? It's coming down. It's certainly coming down. I did say it earlier, it was looking cloudy. I did say it. And there we have it, guys. It is raining here in Silverstone. And already, it looks like they're struggling off for grip already. The track conditions are really changing quickly here. And this is going to make things very interesting for the last 2 laps. DRS now disabled. The rain's coming down thick and fast. And this could be the godsend that Stone Shuffle needs for a podium position. DRS and disabled now. The umbrellas are up in the background. Oh, they're struggling for grip already. Someone's had an accident. Oh, there's contact. Oh, Twang and Garlic's having issues. Oh, this is really oh, this is chaos. Harrison running wide. Twang and Garlic hitting the inside barrier. Deathlink in for the inters. This is absolute chaos. Look at the track already. Quick Dead going side by side. JJ having issues at the back. Sector 3. Quick Dead on the inside of Stone Shuffle. Cars sliding all over the place. Look at Quick Dead struggling for traction. Everyone's coming in for the inters. And there's contact at the back there. Stone Shuffle, I believe, maybe Harrison contact with Stone Shuffle there. And Krabs will be loving this. He's on the inters and he's got plenty of time to spare. And everyone comes in. Harrison's got a wing change potentially. No, he's keeping the wing from breaking. He's not going with it. Quick dead out. Stone Shuffle second. Stone Shuffle third, sorry. Harrison fourth. Gamer Man Steph, everybody in. JJ in. Kimmy now coming in. The two stops not worked. And Krabs with a 24.5 second lead with 1 lap to go is in dreamland. And Harrison back in fourth position. Quick dead second. Harrison looking to get past Stone Shuffle here. Gamer Man Steph involved. Deathlink, Kimmy having a battle there. Oh, Kimmy's just coming out the pits. The rain absolutely just bombing it down so quickly within 1 lap. Harrison looking to get past this Ferrari here. He's on the inside. Stone Shuffle can't fight it. There's a slight contact there as well. And oh, Gamer Man Steph makes most of it. And look at the move he's putting on Harrison. Oh, there's contact. There's contact again. These two fighting each other round and round. Oh, there's more contact. This isn't the British Touring Car Championship, guys. You need to settle down. Unbelievable from Gamer Man Steph. They're taking full advantage, taking 2 cars in 1 section. And gets himself up to third position. And Harrison running wide there, really struggling in these conditions. And Stone Shuffle dropping to 5th position. And it looks like that's where he's going to be finishing. But a very impressive drive there from the Ferrari driver as we come on to the last lap. And looks like Gamer Man Steph struggling. But not as much as Harrison, who has got the broken front wing there. We can just see it on the right hand side of the car. He's missing the end plate. And really struggling, but it looks like it's going to be 4th position for Harrison. And Gamer Man Steph taking full advantage from the battle from Stone Shuffle to get past both of them. And let's take a little breather here, guys, because that was quite an intense lap or two as the rain came down there. It's absolutely hammered on in the space of like a lap or two. And it's typical Silverstone fashion. It's just absolutely chucked it down in the blink of an eye. It's quite phenomenal, phenomenon I should say, for Silverstone. And we're going to hop on board with Krabs here, who is looking to take his 7th win of the season. He won the sprint and he's about to win the race here. He's about to cross the line as he drifts into the chicane. And the one stop certainly paid off for him. I believe it was a one stop. Well, 2 stop in the end, but obviously 1 stop on the dry tyres as he wins the Silverstone Grand Prix. Is Quick Dead will be coming home in 2nd position here. We're going to look at the position change here, and a lot of position changes there. A lot of guys struggling in these conditions, and the 2 stop maybe not working out for a lot of guys as Quick Dead eventually comes across the line in 2nd, and it's Gamer Man Steph in 3rd, followed by Harrison. And they just await Stone Shuffle here as well, just coming across the line. And MC Jamie B following him closely there at the end, and Dixie and Twang of Garlic also coming across the line. We've got JJ, who's qualified in the front row, but he's coming home with some points today. It's a good result for JJ in the end, and that's 9th position for JJ. And the last points position is going to go to Deathlink after his puncture. It's a good recovery drive from him, and it is F1XL Kimmy who's got to jump ahead and takes that final points position from Deathlink after the penalty count back. And last but not least, we've got Jack Whittle, who really struggled to get going in this race today, and obviously with earlier issues as well, could have been tangled up with an incident or 2 in lap 1, but it does come across the line. But it is Krabs who wins the Silverstone Grand Prix sprint weekend. He's done the doubler. So there we have it, guys. Krabs is the race winner, fastest lap set by Gamerman Steph, driver of the day and the most overtakes was by QuickDead, cleanest driver F1XL Kimmy. And that will do that, guys. As we see the final standings, we'll try and go into the race results here. And it is Krabs who wins, followed by QuickDead, Gamerman Steph, Harris in 4th, Stone Shuffle 5th, Dixie in 6th, MC Jamie B 7th, Twangy Garlic, JJ, F1XL Kimmy, Deathlink and Jack Whittle are your rest of the field. So I think my driver of the day, I think I'm going to give it to QuickDead. He started 7th in the grid. And he managed to fight his way up, considering everything else that was happening around him. He's managed to get 2nd position and done really well there. But a very honourable mention, I believe. If we get 2 choices of driver of the day, I want to give it to Stone Shuffle as well. It was a really fantastic race there and superb to watch. And that rain was unbelievable at the end. I'm not too sure what the forecast would have said in the lobby, and I wonder if that would have changed anything. If these guys were opting for the 2-stop, obviously didn't know about the weather changing. If they opted for the 2-stop, which I don't know, I find that quite interesting. Maybe a lot of guys maybe waiting for the rain to come, which is why the likes of Harrison maybe waited to lap 14 to get off of those hard tyres. And the rain didn't eventually come, but when he pitted, the rain came, so that kind of messed up his race a little bit. So it looked like the big winners from that were the guys that ran the hard tyre to begin with, and maybe went for the 1-stop. So, likes of Stone Shuffle, that is a fantastic result for them. Twangy Garlic as well, really good result. And of course, QuickDead with the fantastic result coming from 7th in the grid to come 2nd after a massive battle at the beginning of the race and having to fight Gamerman Steph throughout as well. So that runs that up, guys. So this has been Chips and Davie. I have been commentating on Div 1 and F1XL. Next week we are off to Canada, which is another track that can throw up a few surprises in terms of weather. So bring your brollies just in case, gentlemen. And I will see you next week. Bye bye.